Hi, this is Scott Jordan, and you are watching live here at Cellars of Sonoma in beautiful Railroad Square, Santa Rosa, California. Hi everybody, and welcome to TV Tuesday Live. This is the show where we taste wine, we talk about wine, and tonight we're going to taste through 6 of the, I don't know, what do we have in here? We probably have, when we're running full steam, we probably have at least 10 Pinots. But tonight we're going to taste through 6. We're going to taste through several Russian River Pinots. Thanks, Andrew. A Sonoma Coast that ultimately will be Russian River. We'll talk about that. And a couple single vineyard Pinots, and then one from Knights Valley, which is. Well, wait a minute. I have Night. That's not right. That says Russian River. Okay, well we're gonna work on that. I have my notes wrong on the Super Sonoman. It says Knights Valley here, but that's not a Knights Valley wine. So anyway, Knights Valley is kind of warm for Pinot. Also, we'll talk about what's going on this weekend. We've got a special show on Thursday that we'll talk about, and then I've also got some little wine facts that we're going to ask some questions, and I'm expecting, I thought Brian was coming in, but that's okay, you can use me. That's all you need. And so really tonight it's all about Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir is a grape that grows in a cooler climate. Cool meaning, for example, Russian River. The temperatures in the summertime will be in the mid-80s, maybe as high as the mid-90s. And then early in the evening, the fog will roll in and take the temperatures from those highs down into the 50s and 60s very quickly. That works really well for Chardonnay. It works really well for Sauvignon Blanc. It works really well for Riesling and your white grapes. But it works quite well for Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir being a little more of a finicky grape. It's also a thinner skinned grape, so it really needs to be out of that sun. It really can't take the intense heat that you would see in Alexander Valley, for example, which is a little further north, or Dry Creek. What did I say? Dry Creek. I tried to say the word French the other day and I couldn't actually get the words out. I thought I was having a stroke. I'm like, I can't get the word French out. Simple word. Anyway, Dry Creek, those other areas, much warmer. The fog rolls in there late in the evening, burns off early in the morning, so your big reds grow there. Next week we're going to talk about big reds. We're going to feature some Syrahs and big Zins and some red blends. But tonight it's all Pinot, and we're going to start out with a Pinot Noir from James Family Cellars. This is a 2009. It's a gold medal winner from the U.S. National Wine Competition. Retail on this is $36. If you're a Cellar Club member, you get that at $30.60. But if you buy 3 or more, you can have it at $25.20. We're down to the last few cases, and then this is gone. So take full advantage of that. What a great buy, saving 30% on this wine. Let me give you, Beautiful nose. This is in an area that actually we've talked about this before, the Appalachian Russian River is now going through this property here, the tasting room, and it also goes through their property. And so 2012 and beyond, it'll actually say Russian River. So from the marketing perspective, you gotta love that. So you got a little question? Go ahead there, Karina.
Brad would like you to compare the California Pinots to the Oregon Pinots. How
Ooh.
the climate can change the varietal.
Yeah, so the question is, and hi to Brad, compare the California to the Oregon Pinot. Well, first of all, Oregon Pinots, because of the weather, you're more likely to see them planting those on hillsides, and they do something a little different there than we do here. They grow in extremely narrow rows, probably rows, you'll see rows like this wide. You barely could get a push mower through there. I mean, they're really tiny. They have to modify some equipment to get it through there or do stuff by hand. They do a lot of hillside plantings because, as you know, in Oregon, you're getting rain throughout the summer, which is not what you want. You really want it to be dry. So they put it on the hill to minimize the water, make the plant dig a little harder for the water source. They have very unique, rich soils up there, and so they become really big, full-bodied in the style Pinot Noirs. And in fact, when we get to the Super Sonoman, that one is pretty big, and that one would rival what we see in the Oregon Pinots. So we'll talk more about that when we get to that. The California Pinots, some of the coastal stuff is going to be a little lighter, a little more fruit driven, a little more fruit forward, and they can be a little lighter in style. This is, again, this is James Family Cellars. Let me tell you what we should be noticing in this. You should notice some juicy cherry with hints of raspberry flavors, and a little, what they call a breath of roses. What's a breath of roses? So you know, you walk by a really beautiful rose and you catch just the outer edge of the fragrant. That's what you get, and a little vanilla. Vanilla is what you're going to get from the words are coming. Barrel starts with a B, is barrel. French oak barrels will give you a little hint of vanilla on the nose. And then they say silky caramel, dark cherry, strawberry, berries, and a little plum grace the finish. Yeah, I do agree to the plums, and a little caramel. Caramel is a characteristic. Now, you think about caramel, then smell the wine. This is great Pinot. And look, at 25-20 on 3 or more, you're crazy. And I throw this challenge out. Go find an estate. They have to do estate. They own the vineyard. They sell most of their fruit to Schramsberg for their champagne program, and have for about 15 years. But I challenge you, go out and find, now you got to find it at 25-20. Go ahead and find an estate Pinot, Russian River. I'll let you use Russian River. I'll even let you go Russian River or Sonoma Coast. How about that? And you go ahead and find it. You find that, bringing it in here, and we'll do a blind tasting. If you end up liking that more than this, I'll buy the bottle from you. How about that? It's Al. What's going on, Al? We're doing your favorite.
Is that a Pilsner or an IPA?
It's an IPA. Oh. Your favorite wine, Pinot. So 2009, pouring really, really nice. In the current wine club shipment, we have a pre-release of this wine in the 2011. Now, what does that mean? We send you the 4 wines, one of which is the James Family 2011. It's a wine that hasn't been released yet. We're giving you a look at it. You get an opportunity to see how that wine is doing. It's pouring quite nice, but it isn't ready for release. And so during the 30 days after you get your shipment, if you reorder that wine, you get an extra 5% off, number one. But shortly after that, we're going to take that wine and put it back in the cellar, and it's going to stay there until its actual release time, which will be sometime later next year. So a little pre-release is on its way for Cellar Club, which is shipping and packing up this. What is today? Today's Tuesday. Oh, it's this week. Tomorrow. Tomorrow we run the club, and we'll ship it out next week on the temperature-controlled truck. Now, some of you shipping folks, I am working on confirming this, but I have found out that if you're not going to be home and you live near a UPS store, we can divert the shipment for $5 to the UPS store, and you can go over there and pick it up, which means you can pick it up on an odd day, like a Saturday if they're open on Saturdays, or maybe some are even open 7 days a week. So I'm going to have an announcement about that. I'm just checking all the details, but it seems that answers a lot of problems that people have with shipping. Just get it to the UPS store, and you're good to go, and pick it up. They'll sign for it. Hopefully they won't drink it, but anyway, that's good news for many of you out in the area. Now, all right. So we had James Family 2009, Sonoma Coast. Ultimately, that's going to be Russian River. Retail is $36. Don't pay retail. Buy 3, get $25.20, 30% off. Great buy. Cannot go wrong with that. Now, Andrew switched my order. Andy, you did, huh? Yeah. So you're saying you want to go Bonneau first?
I would do Bonneau, yeah,
And then the Gann?
yeah.
Why?
Bonneau's still higher than the Gann.
Okay. All right. Is part of your answer because it's a younger wine, 2011 versus a 9?
2009, yeah.
Okay.
That'd be
All
another
right.
reason.
So when I did the order today, I had the Gann first, then the Bonneau. So we're going to go with Andrew's order, and the guests that are tasting, they can decide whether he was correct or not. And I would prefer that they tell the truth and make him, he's either the right guy or the wrong guy. But anyway, this is a 2011. This is a true Sonoma Coast, but it's also Los Caneros. Did you know that, Karina?
I don't think I do know that.
Yeah, the vineyard is it's a San Giacomo vineyard. That's an old family vineyard in the Los Caneros region, but the vineyard also straddles the Sonoma Coast. So you get the best of both worlds. And so this is a true example of amazing fruit. The San Giacomo folks, that family has been producing wine for a long, long time, or producing grapes. And lots of wineries go after that fruit because they really like it. They really love what goes on in that vineyard. And again, that straddles 2 appellations. He chose to put the Sonoma Coast on there, but technically you could say he could put Los Caneros on there too, and maybe show it as a sub-appellation. So, So, in his notes, he says that the wine shows off its crystal garnet color with aromas of ripe black cherries, pomegranate, and rose petals. So rose petals like we got in the James, you're getting similar nose here, but yeah, definitely Yep, I get the black cherries in this wine. And if I had a pomegranate in my hand, I could smell that and smell this, and it would probably make that pop right out of the glass. Retail on this is $42. Cellar Club members get this at $35.70. This is also a gold medal winning wine from the San Francisco Chronicle tasting. So one of Bonneau's several gold medals. Wow. That's probably going to show a little lighter. Andrew is correct than the Gann. Did you have a question? Go ahead there, sis.
What factors into a winemaker releasing a wine?
Oh, so what factors into a winemaker releasing their wine? They completely run out. They have no other possible wine to show, and they're just forced. Sometimes that's actually happened in here. We've had some scenarios where we really have released them early. Great example. Any of you that are tuned in or guests that are here that have had the Noir wines, they love to bottle age them. They're not here. They like to bottle age those wines for a very long time, so the release point is pushed way out. It's a little unusual to go as long as they go. I'll give you an example. In the current Wine Club shipment is a 2007 current release Très Cuvée Chardonnay. And now you might say, wow, 07 Chardonnay, you're crazy. No, what they do is they put an extra long cork in, and they minimize the air during the aging. And what that does is it allows you to actually age the wine a little longer. So for them, they're really pushing the envelope. You want to, in release points, here's the normal formula. You harvest the grapes, and then you ferment them, and then you put them in, if it's a red wine or even some whites, you put them in oak barrels, maybe 12, 24 months, maybe as much as 30, depending on the producer. Then you want to put it in the bottle, and you don't want to release it right away. When the wine goes into the bottle, because it's a living organism, it just tightens up something terrible. It goes into what we call bottle shock. There's a great movie that features Chateau Montelena. That's a true story about a Chardonnay that they produced, and it turned brown. And it went into shock, but later on it opened up and cleared up and became the wine that won the Paris tasting that year. So that's what bottle shock does. You got to give a little time. So maybe in the bottle you might be going 6, 8, 10 months, maybe a year, maybe as much as 2 years. In the case of Noir, it might be 5. So it really, depends on your program, and it just depends on the availability of your wines. Now sometimes, and this is for my wine club members that aren't reordering on a regular basis, you really do want to reorder, because there can be scenarios where we're running out of a vintage, but we're not ready to release the next wine. We're going to pull some of that back. We're going to slow that sale down so that wine lasts long enough until we can release the next one. You don't want a gap where you got no wine whatsoever. So take full advantage of that because the timing is quite important. What we do here is, as soon as you're ready to go to the next vintage, and we've only got 3 or 4 cases left, we put them into what we call the library, and that's upstairs, up there, and we keep the wines there. They're going to age nice up there, And then shortly after that, we released the next vintage. So there's the long answer to a short question, or a short question that got long, something like that. Okay, Bonneau wines, 2011, real difficult year. We say that because 12, 13, and now 14, unless it snows tomorrow. The 12, 13, 14 were almost textbook. I mean, they were really, really wonderful. 11 and 10 were very tough. Here's what I mean. Kind of like France. Cool summer, and then you had rain early in the season near bud break, which can cause shatter and issues. And then rain toward the end, which can work into mold issues. And so you had that, so you had to be a better steward out in the vineyard. That means you're dropping bad clusters, you're removing leaves to allow air to flow to help ripen the fruit. So you really had to manicure it. You didn't have to do that in 12, 13, and 14. Go ahead, Karina.
Giselle is curious and wants to know if we find that a lot of our customers pay attention to vintage.
To pay attention to vintage?
Yes.
Oh. Do our customers pay attention to vintage? They do, because we tell them. We tell them because it's important. It's important and you're going to start seeing it now. In 2012, it's getting really good press. That means the wine's going to sell faster. It means it's going to be gone sooner. And in our case here, when these wines are gone, when they're gone, they are really gone. If you go to the big wineries and they sell out in the tasting room, they're going to call up their distributor and they're going to say, hey, pull back 10 cases, we're running out here. And they're going to pull it back and have it back in the room. I can't call up La Serena and say, give me more Pirate. She's going to laugh at me and say, are you kidding? We oversold it. And that's happened several times. So you got to be real careful because you definitely don't want to run out. What was the question again? Did I answer the question?
I believe that people, if they pay attention to vintage.
Yeah, you got to pay attention to vintage. The other reason, and we talked about it at the bar, but I got some pushback from some people. The other thing is, if it's a really, really good vintage, you could see some price spikes. However, in your favor, consumers, because the economy is still pretty soft, our leaders have not helped us so far.
Here we go.
Well, Al's right over here, so I had to say that. When the economy is a little soft, they're reluctant to raise prices, so I don't really see that. But you could argue pretty well that if you get a world-class vintage like 12, 13, and what we think 14 is going to be, it's reasonable to say that you should raise the prices. I mean, that's, just logic. But you have an advantage because the economy clearly is not there. So, but we tell people about vintage. Vintage is very, very important for aging as well. For example, 2009. If you look at the 2009 wines, they're aging fantastic. And 2007, we've had some of them that we've opened recently, pouring beautiful. That was a great vintage year. Now, an off year, and this is going to go against the grain, but you say an off year, which is 2010, you might say, well, it's not going to age really well. But you know what? You come in here and taste some of the 10s we have, you'll be shocked. They're pouring really nice. So vintage year is definitely important and will help educate you in that regard. That's a beautiful Pinot Noir. It is young. People ask all the time, what can we do in aging, in Pinots? I'm telling you, we've opened Pinots here that go back 2006. If I had any more of the Bonneau 06, I'd open that up. You can't believe how nice that wine is. So, you can give them 5, 7 years like nothing. I don't see that as a problem at all. And we talk about this all the time. Buy a case, set it down. open up a bottle every 6 or 8 months. You'll get a real good feel for what's going on with the wine, and then you can decide whether it's time to dive into it or not. Go ahead, Karina.
What is the optimal bricks a winemaker desires for great Pinot?
Oh, I don't know. Google it. When did I start making wine? Yeah, 16, 18 bricks, 20. You know it varies quite a bit depending upon the producer. Let me see if I can give you a for instance on. Yeah, see, they don't really disclose the bricks. They disclose the alcohol. It's pretty rare if anybody would disclose the bricks. You know, they all have their own formula on that. Also, that's not the complete driving force. Do you know the other thing? You know the other way they figure that it's time to pick? Do you know, Karina?
I definitely don't. Please inform me.
Taste.
Oh, they eat the grape?
They eat the grape. It gives you a real good feeling for the sugar, and I'm gonna pour it right. I'll pour it now while I'm talking. It gives you a great feel for the sugar, and also you want to see that seed in there. That has a flavor as well, so that you know they definitely taste the grape and measure the bricks, and again that number will change. And because I don't make wine, I'm not gonna throw you in. It's like 16 bricks, 14, 16. If you go to my buddy Randy over at Harvest Moon, he's harvesting stuff that's, you know, he's looking for 12% alcohol, 13. Which is those bricks are not very much when you're doing that. All right, so now let me just before we taste this next wine, I'm going to throw a little question out. Which of the following is
I
a?
think I should ask you the question and then see if you can answer it.
Yeah, but I know the answers. I already went through these.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been trying to trick you. Go ahead.
Well, here's a fun one. When do you think the first box wines were invented, and who did it? Was it Japan, France, United States, or Australia? So box wine. When was the first one invented, and who did it?
I don't know.
So if anybody has the answer, huh?
America.
I would
Well-
say the U.S., but I know that's not going to be right.
Okay, this wine, we'll answer that when I'm done with this wine here, we'll answer this. This is the 2009 Russian River Pinot Noir from Gann. Again, you're noticing cherries. That's a characteristic that you're picking up in all the Russian River wines. Rose petals, dried herbs. What kind of herbs? Well, you know, if it was up in Mendocino, we know what kind of herbs they were. Special herbs.
Australia? Dave Batt is guessing Australia.
Dave Batt. Oh.
It's good.
Oh, man. What a nose on that wine. Holy Toledo. 2009. Again, now great vintage year.
And so does Brad.
Brad says Australia.
Yep.
Brad's probably right. Right.
Does he know what year? Now I don't, and don't Google it. You know, don't Google it. I mean, that's
91.
You're not even close. I'll tell you, you're not even close. You're not even close. They had cool cars then, I can tell you that. Oh my. 2009. That's pouring really good. You guys are all on the 9? Everybody's on the 9?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What the hell's wrong with
You
that?
can see the age on it.
Oh.
Tips there. That's good.
It's just pouring fabulous. Lots of life left in this. This is not rushed to the cellar and drink it before it goes bad. It's rocking and rolling. That's yeah, that is a little bigger than the Bonneau. It's Russian River. It's a little more earthy.
Brad is guessing 2007.
2007 box wine.
That's what he said.
Brad, what are you kidding me?
I know. I was definitely drinking box wine
Wow, you're not even in the right decade. You're so far out, it's unbelievable.
How about 19?
No, I gave you a hint. I said they had really cool cars.
Okay,
19.
the 50s. The 50s, they had the best cars of all.
Yeah, but box wine in the 50s? No way.
74.
They weren't even drinking wine.
1975.
75 is your guess?
Sure.
Anybody else got a guess on what year?
64.
Whoa, somebody Googled it.
64.
They're cheating. No, that's not it.
All right, come on.
It's Australia in 1965.
Dang.
Tom Angrove took out a patent on the bag in a box concept called a wine cask. I've never seen that. Have you ever seen that? It's real popular today in some scenarios. For example, Deloach, I know, they took an oak barrel and they put a bladder inside and had their wine in there and had a little tapper on it. And it's kind of cute. You don't do it for your ultra premium wines, but it would
a
hold.
small oak barrel.
Yeah, a little barrel. But it's not like this big around.
I think the newest coolest thing is them an individual pours. So I went to Oregon and the girl served me my wine in a glass, but it had a thing at the top that you took off of it. Like it was a plastic glass and you ripped off the top, and that's what they served me.
So it was a glass, because they can't hear you. So it was a glass that had a seal on it, and you went like this, and then you sucked that down out of that nice plastic glass.
Yeah, I mean the wine was decent.
I had that same thing. It's
That
packaged
is-
that way.
Is it really?
Because I kept the glass in the glove compartment.
That's
in case I could
horrible.
drive, drink, and
That
drive.
is absolutely,
Sucker right
that
out.
is absolutely horrible.
Coleman Valley Road.
Wow. I have seen them with a straw in, you know, the pouches like the kids.
That's horrible.
No, I have. Like the pouches that the kids have. You know the ones.
I got grandkids. Yeah, those
Yeah.
are shitty drinks.
Yeah, they have them with a little straw, and you go doink, and it.
You
Yeah.
can't drink wine out of a straw.
Why
I don't
not?
want to drink wine out of a straw.
Yeah, you'll get a rush like that.
Or a box. I'll drink it out of a box.
Out of the box?
No, out of like a little box. Like it's a little box and you like a juice box.
A juice box. Yeah. Okay. Well, they were invented for concerts. The little
Or for going down the river.
or for I take a bottle when I go down the river, dude. Come
You
on.
mean on like a kayak or something?
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely. I take a full on bottle.
Take a box. There's like 2.5 glasses.
No, and I take real glass too, because I don't drink out of plastic. I love you guys a lot, but I ain't drinking out of plastic. No, not by a stretch. What's going on there, guys?
How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay, so 2009 Gann Family Cellars, $42 retail, $35.70. If you buy a case, they'll do it at 50% off on a case of that wine. Didn't know that. That was a new thing. I just told you. New. Question. Go ahead.
Dan would like for you to talk about the difference in soil between Western River Valley and Sonoma Coast and its influence on the flavor of the wine.
Yeah. It's for Sonoma Coast. The other influence is really the wind. That's why a little further south in what they call Petaluma Gap, they're really fighting to get that appellation, which I think they're going to get. It's logical that the wind does play a big picture. The soil in Russian River can be a little clayey. You might see more volcanic soil than what you would see in the Sonoma Coast. The problem with Sonoma Coast is it's the entire, and I have a beautiful map upstairs, but it's the entire Sonoma County from the very top at the Mendocino border all the way down to Napa. You could really argue that soil is really different. And I think eventually, 10 years from now, you might see 5 different appellations created because those conditions are really different. So, but volcanic is what you might see more in Russian River. Okay, so 2009 when you're buying wine, we talked about it earlier about looking at vintage year. You can pick up a 2009 and know it's going to be a big, rich wine. So that's just a little hint. But you got to buy them from us, or it doesn't make sense. Okay, all right. Now, this is a new wine to the tasting room. Not a new winery, it's T.R. Elliott, but this is his 2012 Burgonet. Yeah, I know. Karina's over here just drooling. This is a single vineyard wine from the O'Connell vineyard. So it comes from one vineyard. Ted does not make this wine every year because every year it's not going to give him the characteristics that he wants in this wine. He only selected among 8 barrels. So let's do the math. 8 barrels. So each barrel is 25 cases. Yeah. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at
2,400 bottles of wine.
yeah, we're not talking about a huge amount of wine. That's a very small amount of wine. Single vineyard. The beautiful, oh man, wait till you get this. This is, man. Now see, Andrew, I took this, I had this as the second wine to pour. You threw it down the bus. Wow. There is a ton going on in the nose of this wine. Holy smokes. That is, wow. What's your question? Man.
Is there a story behind the name Burgonet?
I think this guy is.
Yeah. Burgonet is the helmet.
Outstanding.
It's a helmet that the French wore. And if you look at his label, it's got a picture of that helmet. And that's what that is. Ted's typically made 3 different Pinots. 3 plumes from a single vineyard, and then the Burgonet when available and when the fruit's right from a single vineyard. And then the Queste, which is, Quest is the blend of the 2 vineyards. And, but again, this is the this is, somebody asked me yesterday, what's a small winery? Let me give you an idea what a small winery is, just so you put this in perspective. A small winery is somebody that makes 8,000 to maybe 15,000 cases. That would be a small winery. A medium size might be, 20 to as much as 60 or 70,000 or maybe 100,000 would be a medium. And then a large winery, 100,000 plus, up to $1 million. When you reach those kind of levels, you have an entire staff that do your pump overs, that do a lot of the testing. Your hand is not in every barrel, trust me. However, in this example, you're nowhere near a small winery. We're talking micro, very small. 8 barrels is not a lot of wine. I mean, it's just flat out isn't. So you're going to get handcrafted. The color, I don't know if you can get this, Karina, if you can get up on that, the color of this compared to those other Pinots is very different. This is really wonderful. Are you getting this shot?
How would you describe that color?
Yeah, it's it's a light cherry. It's not in the black cherry range at all. It's light cherry.
What is that? Ruby?
Ruby. Yeah, light ruby though, not a heavy ruby, a light one. No, it's another color. I'll think of it. It's coming in my head. Yeah, a real light ruby. Not one that's dark, the lighter style. Mm. Dang, that's really good. Wow. $44 retail, $37.40. You know what, guys? go to the store and pick up a $60 Pinot Noir. Bring it in here, do a blind tasting. I bet you'll pick this. That is a heck of a wine. Wow. Small production. It's not going to last. Don't ask for this wine 6 months from now because it ain't going to be around. I'm just telling you. Oh, man. Pinot lovers, holy Toledo. If you don't like this, you hate freaking wine. That's the way it is. Wow. Or you hate Pinot. But you can't hate Pinot. No. Yeah, just, get with the program.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. So let me give you a little idea of what's coming up this weekend. Hannah Aldridge is coming on Thursday. So in 2 days, Thursday, 7:30 to 10:30. She is on tour and has never played here before. It's a one opportunity to see her, and she's on tour and has a beautiful voice, great music. You're gonna love it. It's fabulous, and that's a great show. And then on Friday we have Ricky Allen Ray on Friday. And then John Pita on Saturday. So 3 fabulous musicians. Come down and check that out. We also have late night food. We've got paninis. We've got our caprese and our Tuscan chicken. And we've got...
I had the caprese for the first time.
and you had the caprese. Was it good? Yes? Yeah. So we can do that. And a sausage and cheese. We could also... Well, I guess I could do a spinach salad for you too. We could do that because I have spinach. So come down, get hungry. Don't worry about it. We can give you some food. If you want a full dinner, you can order that from Jack and Tony's. They'll deliver it and have dinner right here. So great show this weekend, starting on Thursday. Hannah Aldridge. Check her out, man. She's the real stuff. This is going to be a good show on Thursday. And for all of our baseball fans, tomorrow we have the Giants. The game starts at like 5:05, something like that. Come down in your colors, wear your T-shirt or your hat, and your second glass of wine will make it half price for you. So your second glass will be half price tomorrow. During the Giants game, wear your Giants gear. Now, if you wear the Pirates gear, we'll give you the same deal. We're just not going to like you all that much unless we beat the heck out of you, and then we love you. So, baseball is still alive in the tasting room. God bless America for that. I will be wearing my 1-14 shirt tomorrow. Now, Giants win. It was the right thing to do. Giants don't win, I'm burning it. It's over. So it was given to me by one of my kids, and that thing just isn't winning. But tomorrow we're going to break the streak. It'll be 2-14. We're going to love that. So T.R. Elliott, wow. What do you think of that, Pinot?
Best.
It's definitely one of my absolute favorites.
I mean, that's.
I would say this and the James are my favorite.
All right. Now we're gonna really get in. Now we're gonna jump.
At the end of the show, they want to know what your favorite is.
Okay, and people ask me that all the time, and I kind of give the same answer. I look at this stuff related to food, and these would pair up very differently depending on the meal that you have. But I'll give you my if I was judging them, I guess, to pick, let's say, I'll do it this way, just to be fair with the vintners. You're going to give me one choice. You're going on a desert island for the rest of your life, and that's all you're going to get. Which one would you prefer?
Out of the Pinots?
Yeah.
If I had to choose one?
No, me. I'm trying to be fair to the vintners. I'm not going to, I don't want to pick one over the other, but if you're going to put me on a desert island and you said,
Rod said Ted's is your Elliott.
well, you just, man, I'm just telling you, that Burgonet is amazing. 8 barrels is not a lot of wine, folks. Do not wait on that. All right, this is Deering Winery,
Oh,
2010 Pinot Noir. This was their first vintage of Pinot. This has a, you get the berries, you get rhubarb for the East Coast people. When I lived back in the East Coast, we had rhubarb in our garden. Love that. It's kind of a sour thing, but in the nose is what you're really getting at. A little rhubarb, I can get that. Cherry cola, another East Coast thing, cherry cola. Violets. And earthiness, of course. This is 2010 Russian River Valley. Just so you know, gold medal winner in the San Francisco Chronicle. It's a blend from 2 vineyards. Grapes were hand-picked in the early morning to ensure perfectly cool fruit. It's really cool. Cold soaking for 3 days. I love when they give you extensive tasting notes. I like that. After the skins are gently pressed, and you got to be careful with Pinot. You don't want to pulverize the fruit. The wine is then settled in tanks for 5 days before being barreled. It aged 11 months in 100% French oak barrels before it was bottled. They made 169 cases, not a lot of wine. 14.2. They suggest braised pork or roasted duck, or for people like Al, wild mushrooms would be. Would that be okay?
I'll take it.
Okay, all right.
Amanita Muscara.
Gotta love that. So now this fruit comes from the Rocchioli vineyard. So Rocchioli, baby, that is a fantastic vineyard. Fantastic.
Where in the Rocchioli vineyard?
That is yummy in the northern end of Russian River.
What was that, $60?
Woo! 50 retail, $42.50 if you're a Cellar Club member. This is getting into a very elegant Pinot Noir. Very, very elegant. Man, the other thing that I noticed with this wine, and I noticed in the other ones too, this has a really nice finish. You're going to like this, Karina. This has a really elegant finish all the way through. What do we mean by finish? After I've swallowed the wine, it just continues and rolls down my throat, and it's soft and pretty. This is pretty elegant, I have to say.
Would you say more elegant than other wines we've previously?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's one characteristic that really jumps out. So you're looking for an elegant wine, this is going to do it for you.
It's more elegant than T.R. Elliott.
It has a different finish.
Yeah, it's a different finish. It's a little longer,
Yeah.
a little bit longer. It stays with me a little bit longer.
It's not as much of a fruit bomb either.
Yeah.
It's a little more subtle.
Okay, now. All right, let me ask a question. Which of the following is not a type of sparkling wine? Fiasco, Saquette, Cava, Cremant. I had to cheat on that one. Anybody got a? I'm just going to give you that one.
Nope.
Fiasco. Fiasco is the.
You already said the answer? That's not fair. Nobody got to have a chance to think.
Well, they Google it and then they know already. I'm just giving them the. I'm just trying to educate them and help them out. It's a straw-covered wine bottle, often found in Italian restaurants. So it's not a sparkling wine. So Cava is Spain's sparkling wine. Sacat is a sparkling from Germany, so I'm obviously saying it wrong. And Cremant is a French sparkling from the regions other than Champagne. Oh, I didn't know that. That's new news for me. So I just learned something. Isn't that good? Okay, 2010 Pinot Noir, Russian River Valley. All right, now we saved this one to the end because Super Sonoman makes the biggest wines on the planet. Man, oh man. I don't have his tasting notes in front of me because Andrew didn't give them to me because he wants me to flounder, but that's okay. He ages all of his wines pretty much in brand new French oak, which is crazy. You guys have no idea how expensive that is. This is a 2012. The tasting sheet is wrong, and it's wrong all over the place. Andrew, do you know that? Where's Andrew?
He's in the back cooking.
He's cooking food? Okay. It says Knights Valley. That's not Knights Valley. And I don't know, I just pulled it off something that we had. That's wrong. It's actually Russian River Valley fruit. And let me see if I can get any hints on here. This is our newest winery. He makes, again, big wines. Oh man, wait till you taste this one. This one's gonna freak you out because this is not Mr. Wimpy at all. Are you guys ready for that? Are you ready for the next? Uh-oh, look at, they're going, yeah, I'm drooling. What's the big deal? All right. Oh, Karina, give him, oh, shoo, wait till you get the nose on this puppy dog. This will make you hunt. Oh my gosh. I gotta get the tasting notes. All right, don't go away. Look at our guests back here. I have to get the tasting notes. Oh. Very good. Style. Oh, it's his style. I know. Somebody else just texted me. Okay, I'm coming back. I'm back. Don't worry. Don't freak out. It's not a stage where they walked away. I just wanted to have the tasting notes because, which I should have had. So let me look here real quick. And knowing me, I won't have it in this pile. These are all calves. Come on, show me the Pinot. Wait, come on, give me the Pinot. I mean, could it really be the last one? Oh, it's not even in here. Well, the hell with that. That was a waste of time. Probably about 10 months, but brand new French oak. Seriously. I mean, wow. So what does that do for ageability? Well, it's 2012, first of all, which was a magnificent year. Absolutely fantastic. Big, rich fruit. Very noticeable in the nose. Hints of oak are really there, big time. Big structure to this wine. I mean, big time. You can really, wow. You can cut that with a knife. So what does it really do? Well, here's one of the things you have to, we tasted 6 very diverse different wines from a lighter style to the ultimate in big style. The way I equate this, and it goes back to that question of what do you like? Which one do you prefer? Depending on my meal plan will really move me into one over the other. So the question is, what if I don't have food and I'm just pounding down some wine to party and have a good day? Is that that was your question? Okay, all right. Well, if that's the case, I'm thinking lighter than heavier. because when I get a heavy wine, I really, really want to have it with some food that'll balance it out a bit and complement it. And, you know, lighter style, for example, the TR Elliott. I could have the TR Elliott any day of the week without any food, and that would rock and roll and would be no problem whatsoever. It would, you know, I could do that for the James as well. But once you start to get into the bigger, earthier wines, I'm looking for some food to work with the wine. When you get into this, holy Toledo, man, you have got to jump all over the food idea. No question about it. So, we tasted 6 wines. Let me just recap what we tasted. Yeah, we're good. James Family Cellars 2009 Sonoma Coast, which has a 3-bottle or more special at $25.20. You can't beat that. Beautiful, beautiful wine. We then had the Bonneau wine 2011 Sonoma Coast Pinot Noir, $42 retail, $35.70, gold medal winner. We then had Gann Family Cellars 09, pretty good vintage year, Pinot Noir, showing very well at 42 as well. TR Elliott Burgonet, $44 retail, liking that a lot. The Deering, the Rocchioli Vineyard, that's got some great history. It's their first Pinot. I think they nailed it. It's a great example of 2010 being a fantastic vintage year in the bottle. Tough year to grow fruit, some issues out in the vineyard, but if you overcome that, I think you ended up with a great aging wine. This is a great example of that. And then Super Sonoman, for my, I don't like Pinot because it's wimpy. Drink this one. This is not, is this wimpy? No, there's no wimpy here. Is that wimpy? No. That's rocking and rolling all day long. I mean, that is big. So the question of the night, and no favoritism. I don't play favors to my vendors. I have an opinion, and I'm just going to give it to you. If you threw me on a desert island, and you said you got to pick one. Okay, you can't have your food choice and all that other stuff. I would drink the Deering and I would be happy with any of them, trust me. The Deering really hit me nice, and what I really liked was the finish was beautiful. I'm a sucker for 2010 vintage. I really like that vintage in the wines, so I kind of lean in that direction. But again, that's not to discount any of the other wines. You put me on the spot by putting me on a desert island. Did I get to pick where the desert island is?
No.
Oh.
Off of Detroit. It's right off of Detroit.
Detroit. Wow. I'm going to the Super Sonoman. It's going to be cold there. I need something to warm me up a little bit. Wow. So that's a little example of the beautiful fruit that we get from the amazing wines right here. And Pinot Noir, nobody in Sonoma County has more Pinot than I do. I've got more Pinot than anybody, and I challenge you to find anything remotely close price point on these estate wines. You're not going to do it. And so I want to thank my folks that tune in, our bloggers, and Dave Batt was dialing in. That was good, and Giselle and Brad, and did we hear from Dan? Was Dan playing tonight? And I want to thank our audience here that are here drinking away and enjoying the wines, I'm sure. At least tell them that you do. And Al, of course, who's in a new movie coming up. Oh, no, play. You're in a play, right? Yeah.
And a movie.
And a movie. We won't talk about the movie? Yeah, all right. Oh, you didn't get the movie, John? Oh, sorry. So, and then Andrew working the room, and of course, Karina working the AV, and yeah, there she goes. and drinking the wine too, right? Yeah. So fun weekend to come down here and enjoy the wines and the live music. Come down Thursday and check this gal out, man. I'm just telling you. Yeah, you're gonna really like this. Her music was fantastic. So I want to thank you for tuning in. Next week we're gonna get into some big wines. We're gonna talk about Zinfandel and Syrah, and we're gonna taste some big old wines. I might even open one of these on this row right here. When anybody knows what row I'm pointing at. Yeah, we might just grab a big old Syrah out of there and give that a whirl. So this is where you discover wine one sip at a time here at Cellars of Sonoma. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye for now. All right, thank you.